Dome Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, little heavyweight news, really. You know what I mean? Heavyweight news, lightweight news, coming up. Check it out. You got the heavyweight fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, the trilogy fight. You're hearing a lot of things. It could happen in December, could happen in November. Different places are being spoken about. But it seems as though we're getting closer to having the fight, at least, and probably this year, which is pretty good to hear because, we don't know what's going to happen. We're hearing, this is going to start, that's going to start. We've seen a little football starting already, but things are still weird. Let's be real about that. So we don't know, but it's really sounding good for that fight. Now, I've documented saying from time to time, basically, nobody really wants Deontay Wilder to take that trilogy fight. A lot of people don't want him to take that trilogy fight because, it's a chance at greatness, right? That's why I'm telling you, Deontay Wilder don't be listening to anybody about nothing. Take that fight because Tyson Fury is all that now, right? And they don't want Deontay Wilder to become undisputed. Here we had Paulie Malignaggi coming out saying, hey, well, let Deontay Wilder step aside so Fury and Joshua can fight and, they'll take something out of each other or whatever. But that's basically saying, we don't want Wilder because Wilder be undisputed. If I was Wilder, ain't nobody going to be undisputed for me because I've been trying for the longest. Why they wasn't. Neither one of them, AJ or Fury. When they won, Fury was still on the couch and AJ wasn't trying to fight. Remember that? Wilder was trying to be that. So, no, make sure I'm going to be the first shot at being undisputed unless Fury basically cancels me out by beating me again. If that happens, then whatever's clever for everybody. That's just fair. So we ain't thinking about nothing. But it just brings me to how, boxing, denies certain fighters of greatness. Starting with Wilder. There wasn't nobody really. Wilder was trying hard to become undisputed. Undisputed wasn't that important. Man didn't really want, everybody wasn't behind him on that, even though after the 50 million offered. Out of nowhere, that was a huge sum at the time. Out of nowhere. It was so much of a huge sum when after Joshua said it, he just knew that nobody wasn't even thinking about what he was saying. Man, if somebody give me 50 million, then I'll sign. Right? Boom. A few days later, here's 50 million for real. And then they had to start dealing with, coming up with things. We know it, just we'll have to go there and document it. Right? But it wasn't that important. It wasn't like the whole groundswell of, hell, where you at? Well, AJ Wilder undisputed. No. So it ain't gonna be like that now. Definitely denying him the chance of greatness. Right? It goes down in boxing. A lot of people, you got Devin Haney right now. Devin Haney is in an article saying, hey, you know something? My dream fight is Lomachenko. Because with the Lomachenko fight, we can really find out who Devin Haney really is and what he's all about. The dude got a dream about the fight. He's the mandatory, and Lomachenko got a franchise championship, so he doesn't have to fight him. Actually, he doesn't have to dream about that fight. He was supposed to be fighting. He's the WBC lightweight champion now because Lomachenko said, I ain't fighting him. And actually, if he would have fought Devin Haney, then fight the winner of Lopez Comey, then we would have had undisputed at lightweight. But there's that word again that nobody want to do, undisputed. So now, Lomachenko's the franchise champion at WBC, and your boy Devin Haney has the belt, basically, the real belt. So the winner of that fight between Lopez and Lomachenko will have to come see him, right? Which it didn't really have to be. But he's got to sit here and dream about that fight, denying him the chance of greatness. Because let's be real, Devin Haney beats Lomachenko, 21 years old. He's a superstar. We're going to let him be a superstar or not. But, when you get to mandatory, that's what happens. You go through things to become mandatory. You travel the world to become mandatory. Beating people here, beating people there. And then you get to the door, and then they say that the champion ain't home. You've been all through the world to get to the door. And then they just, hey, champ ain't home. And they just move it from you. So that happens to Devin Haney. It happens to Rigondeaux, too. Guillermo Rigondeaux, I always talk about him. When he beat Donaire, he could have been pound for pound number one. Call the man pound for pound number one. Guillermo Rigondeaux should have been pound for pound number one at least once up until now. He beats Donaire, and then all those other people that should have been fighting him and getting considered, all those names, I can mention them again, but everybody who's down in those weights from 122 to 118 recently, and even up to 126, wasn't trying to fight this guy the whole time. And most of them more famous than him. This time we won't mention him because I do it every time. It's ridiculous. But he never was number one pound for pound, right? Still can't get fights now. They hyping Inoue, and they're not pushing Inoue to fight the old 39, 40-year-old Guillermo Rigondeaux, who wants to come back down to 118 and dominate, right? I had to move up to 130. Now, it's 39, 40 years old going to 118 because that's where he feels comfortable. But he had to go up to 130 just to get a fight with Lomachenko, who wouldn't meet him at 126, which is also way too big for him. You know, just ridiculous. You know, guys like that, right? I don't have to even mention Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade was the key to one champion in the middleweight division against Canelo Alvarez. September the 14th last year, it could have happened. He didn't fight. Undisputed. We could have one champion. Denying the man greatness. Right? Just denying him the greatness. Why? Well, shoot. One champion, him and Canelo, the winner is a superstar. Great. It could have been Andrade. A very damn good chance it could be Andrade. Not if we don't give him the opportunity. Charlo neither. The mandatory for Canelo. We ain't gonna give him the opportunity, but that wasn't even mentioned Charlo. But I'm talking about undisputed fight. You know what I'm saying? Wilder, that's undisputed fight. Rigondeaux would have beat anybody. If they would have let him be undisputed to 122 or 118. But they let people move away from him and finagle and then take the title from him for nothing without him even losing. You know what I'm saying? So he was talking undisputed. Andrade talking undisputed. You know, all them people, like, shoot, even Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. People, take Wilder out of Ortiz's life or his resume. The things Wilder, the money he made fighting Wilder. Take that out. Who else? Right? Brian Jennings, Malik Scott. You know, people that wasn't trying to fight this guy. No, he's awesome. We didn't see Tyson Fury versus Ortiz. We didn't see Dillian White versus Ortiz. We know Dillian didn't want none. We didn't see Joshua versus Ortiz, even though Ortiz was his mandatory. Right? None of them had to fight Ortiz. A few other ones too, because I told you, nobody at all. Think about it. Ortiz could have probably had cleaned out that other area, Joshua and them, and could have fought Wilder for the undisputed if they would have gave him opportunity. Denying the man greatness. And they're just all around it. We act like boxing don't have superstars. And it does. Right? Alexander Usyk and Terrence Crawford should be because they're undisputed. Nobody else is or ain't trying and ain't. Right? So those should be just superstars. Red carpet, wherever they go. And these names, Devin Haney. People, they would fight Lomachenko, he'd be a superstar. Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz should have been fighting some anti-Joshua Tyson Fury or Dillian White over there. Would have had those titles if they would have let him get the opportunity to. Right? Guillermo Rigondeaux is a bona fide superstar. Number one pound for pound should have been at least once if they would have made these people fight him or say, well, we putting him number one pound for pound, so that means y'all got to fight him. Just won't do it. Deontay Wilder tried everything in his power to fight Joshua. Not in the greatness. Could have been undisputed then. We had an undisputed fight. And Andrade and them is the worst. One championship fight with Canelo. Boom. We'd have one champion in the middleweight division, but denied the man the greatness. And we just constantly keep doing it. So the bottom line is, I see the stars. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping a lot of people that are inbox, you see who the stars. You don't care who they are. Well, this is the cash cow, and he's the A-side. We're talking A-side with Spence and Terrence Crawford, by the way. You know, A-side. Hey, man, Spence is the A-side versus Terrence Crawford. First of all, no, he ain't, right? Because Terrence Crawford is undisputed. He shouldn't be. And if somebody is more than an undisputed guy in boxing, something's wrong. Because the guy who went and got all the belts in any division is a bad dude. Because everybody's not doing that. Like Spence you've been in welterweight for a long time. Awesome dude, no doubt about it. But still ain't undisputed there. He's done that. And now he's got the belt. The welterweights, all of them, Spence included, should be trying to get to Terrence Crawford to get that damn belt. You don't come up in our weight division messing with us. We bigger than you. Get up, give us that belt, and whoever got it. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be the other way around. You know, Terrence Crawford shouldn't be doing the hunting. None of them are considered number one pound for pound. Terrence Crawford is. So I don't know if he's the B-side to anybody. Something's wrong with boxing. It shouldn't be that way, right? That we can't complain about Canelo and getting all these things going his way, you know, the scoring, the weight divisions, I'm going to be doped and nobody going to really say nothing about it. And, you know, I'm not going to take the fights I don't want to. All those things we complain about Canelo, right? Then we can't, you just say, oh, it's only about Canelo. Fairness is fair. You know, undisputed is undisputed. It don't matter who did it, how. It's so rare that if somebody does undisputed, they have to get some respect for that. In the way the boxing landscape and the way the things work with all of this cash cows and promotion companies and all that stuff that's in the way. You got two participants that are trying to be undisputed. That's pretty awesome. All hail to Julius Ndungo. I make sure I got to say that because without Julius Ndungo, Terence Crawford wouldn't have been undisputed. Julius Ndungo is very important in that, right? In that whole scenario. And I'm going to give him a second. Julius Ndungo went to Scotland, beat up Ricky Burns, but before that went to Russia to beat up Troy Nowski, right? And had 2 titles and said, I want them all, and I'm going to go to Nebraska to fight Terence Crawford. He failed, but he tried it, and that's awesome. So all hail Julius Ndungo, which gives us Terence Crawford, should be a superstar. Usyk definitely should be a superstar because he won it in everybody's backyard. And Devin Haney, Ortiz, Rigondeaux, Wilder, and Andrade. And probably a few others, right? Beterbiev too. Don't get it twisted. Beterbiev probably can make that that light heavyweight division undisputed here in a minute. Because I think Beterbiev beat the second best dude in Wojcik. Because Wojcik, for me, was the second best. I think Wojcik would beat Bivol. That's just my opinion. And if Beterbiev beat Wojcik, which I would like a rematch to see that happen again, but Beterbiev is the baddest light heavyweight. And it looked like he could probably make that division undisputed too. That's another scenario there because Beterbiev can knock out everybody, right? So that's another one too. So at the end of the day, we're saying, you know, we want Wilder to step aside. He ain't, right? Devin Haney needs to dream about a fight against Lomachenko. He shouldn't have to dream. Not should he? He should be able to get the damn fight, right? And when we talk undisputed, then everybody it gets allergic to being undisputed. We talk about the cash cows and all the fighters that you know on the A side and all that, which we need to get out of that if we're not directly making money from it one way or another, because that's what makes these people think they can do what they want. Who cares who's the A side, right? People get a mandatory position, then what's up, right? Things like that. And that's why we could probably get more fights. You know, another thing that didn't sit well with boxing too is the WBSS tournament. That tournament was to decide who's the best in a division. They never got legs, guys. The WBSS tournament, that cruiserweight tournament they had, which was legendary, which Usyk won that tournament. Everybody was in that tournament. That was awesome. It's hard to do that in all the weight divisions because people are not going to really want to participate, and so therefore they're having problems getting money for sponsors and everything else. The WBSS tournament. It's a problem because boxing doesn't really want to know who's the best. So maybe these things can change soon. Who knows? But that's just a scenario. When you hear somebody say, "Hey, Wilder should step aside for whatever," then no. Just that's all you need to just as soon as you hear, no, not now. After he fights Tyson Fury, we will readdress that question. Dome Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.